Hey there, my name is Chris, and for the EVM Ideathon, we put together an app called TownHall. Now, TownHall is a proposal for a TrustEVM based incentive network to bolster participation in local community ballots, elections, and other decision making. Now, many of us are familiar with some of the bigger elections and larger initiatives that happen that may be affecting an entire country, but in more localized scenarios, participation is actually trending downwards. And many elections or initiatives actually require mailing back a physical envelope to track and record votes for initiatives without actually leveraging a ton of technology in the process. Digging into this further, you'll notice that the median age of those casting ballots in those local elections is high compared to the actual demographic that could be voting. So we wanted to figure out if there was a way to leverage blockchain and Trust EVM to create a system that was more appealing to a younger audience and could also have the same level of security and identity verification that's present in traditional or physical elections or voting initiatives. A lot of these turnouts are really low, and if we can build a system that can help improve these metrics, our hypothesis that it'll encourage a lot of folks to want to partner with us and build a solution. So what does a potential solution look like in this space? Well, first we want to use smart contracts to represent each individual initiative or each individual election, where votes are actually represented as transactions against the smart contracts, and the identities of those individuals are validated as part of their vote. So a combination of government ID and a digital wallet address allows the user to vote on an initiative, and every vote generates an NFT that is a permanent record of them voting in a particular initiative. And with TownHall, there would actually be an incentive system to encourage and increase participation in different initiatives by enabling others to create their own polls, have an aggregated history, and not necessarily have to deal with physical mail just to cast a ballot. So why now? According to some of the articles that we researched, there's still friction in not just discovering, but also learning about how to vote in many government-based ballots. And there's an increased interest now in distributed technologies and governance. So there's no need to pay workers or have a centralized system that manages the votes. And a growing share of ballot propositions are actually introduced by well-funded organizations. TownHall could help facilitate and provide recommendations to those organizations to reflect the topics that are most important to those residents. So what's the market size here? With TownHall, we could partner with any one of the 19,000 or so municipalities within the US, and the initial application could be tailored to each individual organization. And currently, local governments are spending a ton of not just money, but time to implement and manage these ballots, where a digital solution might be able to assist and provide better visibility into trends and how people are voting over time. So there are other digital voting platforms. In particular, with TownHall, we're focusing just on local initiatives. And it could be useful even if not used in official elections. Like we could use this in small jurisdictions. We could use it to limit the risk of large-scale disasters, and really increase the accessibility of this technology without necessarily requiring everybody be an expert in how blockchains work. So right now, TownHall is just a proposal, but we want to have it comprise a set of distributed apps that allow local governments to create and manage their own smart contracts without being experts in that space, and incentivize users to propose new ballot measures or nominate new candidates, and incentivize participants to actually participate in these ballots or voting measures. And then the voting results can also be updated in real time and be in a centralized spot that is completely transparent without waiting for mail to get processed. What is the business model? Initially, be very simple. So we could collect money just from hosting each ballot and paying transaction fees. EOS actually has the nice benefit of being low cost and low confirmation time, which would be very key for high volume initiatives, and be able to get partnerships with officials looking to instrument new blockchain-based voting mechanisms in their stack. So what is the team right now? Right now it's just myself and Brian, but we both work on the software engineering front. We put together this presentation. The financials for building this application could largely be completed with a small team, just paying the blockchain related transaction fees. In terms of onboarding, that's where we see a lot of the potential expense, just getting folks used to how to use the platform and issuing ballots and visualizing the results. But in theory, this would be a fraction of what they're currently paying. Lastly, we have the sources and we have some proposed tech considerations. As for the initial proposal, it's available on the GitHub for the initial project. I encourage you to check it out, but that's pretty much the TownHall project, and thanks for your time.